Hey, it's Steve Lowell here. You know, in over 30 years of working with coaches and speakers and financial advisors and professionals and entrepreneurs all over the world, I found that there's one major common challenge that most of us face, and that is standing out and getting noticed in a world where most of our prospects see us all as being the same. And you know, what I've noticed is that there are basically 4 stages that our reputation goes through that is directly responsible for helping us get noticed. And most of this is not driven by social media. It's not driven by advertising or promotion. Most of this is actually driven by what I call the spoken word, the way we speak about ourselves and the way we train the world to speak about us. And it looks like this. Let me just share my iPad with you because I want to walk you through this and show you what this looks like. I call this my Repumeter. Now, the Repumeter is basically a tool for helping you manage and helping you measure the state of your reputation. Now, there are 4 milestones that I've noticed on the Repumeter, and the first milestone is what I call obscurity. Now, obscurity means that nobody knows who you are, nobody knows what you do. You know you're in obscurity when the phone isn't ringing and clients are not coming in and you're spending all your time trying to get business because your posture is really all about, I need the business, and you're kind of operating from that standpoint. Then the next stage is this: when you do some things right and you get some business and you start to get some momentum, the next stage is what I call competitive. At the competitive stage, people know who you are and they know what you do, but there's nothing really that separates you from everybody else who does what you do. To them, we all look the same. So this is why when we label ourselves as things like a financial advisor, a coach, a trainer, a speaker, a real estate agent, a mortgage broker, when we label ourselves with a or an, what we're doing is we're making ourselves sound and look the same as everybody else who does what we do. So you know you're at the competitive stage when these things are happening. When things like people are hiring your competitors, when you're not getting a lot of referrals from strangers, you might be getting some referrals from people who know you, but there's not a lot of new business coming in. You know you're at the competitive stage when things like this are happening, when people might be calling you and saying, we'd like you to come and speak at our organization. Now, we don't have a budget for speakers and you can speak for exposure. You know you're at competitive when you go to the networking events and people are introducing you by your title, your A something or and something. But then there's this next stage. This next stage is what I call branded. Now, at the branded stage, this is a mission critical stage. This is a very important line that you need to cross, because at the branded stage, this is where everything starts to change. The branded stage means that your name is starting to become associated with something other than it was before. You see, on the left side of branded, in the competitive and the obscurity stage, your name is being associated with your title. You're a something or and something. You're a mortgage specialist, a financial planner, a financial advisor, a coach, a speaker, a trainer, and you have that title of a something, and it locks you into that side of branded. But at the branded stage, your name starts to become associated with one or more of 3 very specific things. I'm not going to go through those things here. There's an article on my LinkedIn profile that you can find, and it's all about this. That's all listed there. But what happens at the branded stage now is certain things start to happen, and you start to become not known as a something, but you start to become known as the something. And then what happens is you come all the way over here to this area that I call the one. You become the one, the only logical choice. This is where we all want to be. But sadly, so many of us in the entrepreneurial world, we exist over here, which limits our income, it limits our growth, it limits our future, it limits the impact we can have in this world, it limits the amount of influence that we have, because to the world at large, we all look the same. So here's the thing. If you're tired of looking the same, if you want to stand out and get chosen, if you want to get past this branded stage and over to this side of branded, there's an article on my LinkedIn profile. You can find it, you can read it. It's all about the Repumeter, or you can set up a call with us, with me or with my partner, Jane. Go to meetsteveandjane.com and set up a call with us, and we'll chat with you and we'll talk about what it takes. What are the 3 elements over here that you want your name associated with so that you can get your reputation to fly over to the one category. So I hope you found that of value. My name is Steve Lowell, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you soon.